She handed me the papers while I was buttering her toast. No eye contact, no preamble, just a soft rustle across the table and a faint, "You should read this." Divorce. I didn't move. Behind her, her parents were seated on my couch, the same couch I bought for them after the flood ruined the first floor of their house. They were watching a morning game show, smiling. Her father even chuckled when someone on the screen answered Paris instead of Rome. My hands stayed steady. I didn't tear the papers, didn't flip the table, didn't ask why, because I already knew. 3 months earlier, a storm had torn their roof apart. Heavy rains gutted the kitchen. The back wall caved in. My father-in-law claimed he'd lost his job the same week, said they couldn't afford repairs. She cried, begged me to help them, so I did. I liquidated my emergency fund, sold my bike, took on freelance work until 2 a.m. to pay for it all. Blueprints, contractors, the tiles her mother insisted on. I thought I was saving a family. Turns out, I was building my own execution chamber. The warning signs were small, offhand comments, conversations that stopped when I entered the room, laughter behind closed doors. Her father started walking differently, less slouched, more smug. My wife smiled more when she was texting than when she was talking to me, and I kept telling myself I was paranoid. I wasn't. When I found the second phone in her gym bag, I didn't confront her. I just took pictures, installed spyware, sat back, and waited. The messages were all there, dozens of them. Her and her father, coordinating the lie. The job loss was fake. The flood damage, intentional. They had let the storm weaken the structure, removed insulation, let moisture rot the beams so the collapse would seem natural. Let him feel like the hero, she texted. Then we strike. It wasn't just betrayal, it was warfare, psychological, precise. Even the divorce papers were backdated. She had them signed and witnessed weeks before she ever handed them to me. I didn't tell anyone, didn't scream or accuse. Instead, I found my own blueprint and redrew the lines. She expected me to sign in silence, to move out, disappear. What she didn't expect was the email. I sent it to her firm's partners at 9 a.m. sharp. Subject, Unethical Activity, Internal Financial Abuse Report. Inside, copies of her father's false insurance claims, texts discussing the staged property damage, recordings of their private conversations, her own voice, describing how she manipulated me into spending my entire savings so I'd have no leverage. I watched her open it across the table. She went pale. "What is this?" she whispered. I finally looked up. Evidence. She stood. Her voice cracked. "You hacked me?" "No," I said calmly. "I observed you." Her father rose from the couch, sputtering, "You can't prove anything." I handed him a printed transcript, his own words, every thread tied in a bow. "Actually, I can." He sat back down, hard. I turned to my wife. "You didn't break me. You funded your own exposure." She looked at me, something between panic and awe in her eyes. I placed the divorce papers back in front of her. "I'll sign, but under new terms." I handed her a second envelope. Settlement documents I had pre-negotiated with her firm's senior legal counsel who didn't want to go down with her. She'd keep her license, barely, but she'd lose everything else. The firm, the family reputation, the control. I rose, slow and precise. "You had a plan," I said. So did I. Then I walked out. I live in a small apartment now, quiet, clean, mine. The money's gone, the house too, but so is the weight. They say betrayal burns, but it doesn't. It freezes, numbs you until you stop expecting warmth. I don't miss her. I don't hate her either. What I feel now is something colder. Not anger, clarity. She tried to take everything, and instead, she gave me something better. Myself. Final line. They built a trap and handed me the hammer. They just never expected I'd swing it back.